All right, I've got to tell you right up front that anytime you trade a market, what can happen? You can lose money. All right, don't trade any capital that's not risk capital. In other words, capital that you are willing to risk. I'm not a CTA, which means Commodities Trading Advisor. That means I can show you all kinds of great stuff, but I can't push the button for you. So what my goal is today is to show you stuff that works so that when it comes time for you to push the button, right, the buy button, the sell button, that you're confident in what you're doing, that you have a system underneath you, and then it's just going to be a matter of repeating it. All right, fact of the matter is, if you get yourself a system, gang, and you can pull money out of the market every day, wake up in the morning with that confidence that when you crack open your computer, you're literally going to make money appear out of thin air, that's when trading becomes a whole lot of fun. All right, I'm coming to you from the Market Traders Institute, Tallahassee checking in, so's Dennis in Florida, Czechoslovakia, Zednik just showed up as well. Right, Peter, it's 2:30 in the morning, I love it. Ron Kazmarek, you're in Chicago. Thank you for being here also. All right, I'm in Orlando. I'm at the Market Traders Institute, and I'm at a 70,000 square foot state-of-the-art trading and training facility. All right, we've been in the business of training new Forex traders for the last 22 years, and at this point, more than 30,000 of them. All right, that's the group that we support in our trading rooms on a daily basis. Fact of the matter is, we've been at it the longest. We got the most trained students. We get all the press. Inc. magazine has us listed second year in a row, one of the fastest growing companies of any kind in the world. And I think it's fun every time your name is mentioned at the same time as Microsoft and GoPro and Timberland and Under Armour. How'd we get there? It's really all about results. Okay, please write down that word because I'm going to use it a lot. Trading is all about results, dollars, more than you had when you started. All right, daily, weekly, monthly. Everything else really is just conversation. You got to get to the point where whatever you learned can be translated into money. And if that's what you're here looking for, then you came to the right place. Now, I want to know what your level of experience is. Let's talk to each other for a minute because I want to make sure I'm speaking your language, all right, that we're on the same page. So now that you know how to use that chat box, do me a favor. You're at Investor Inspiration. You got a little experience in one market or the other. Type the name of the market you trade the most often, all right? And if you're brand new, that's okay, right? Just type that you're brand new. Let me just find out what you're trading so that we can talk about the differences here between the markets. What market do you trade? Or stock market, good. Options, binaries, okay. Futures, thank you for that. Right, go ahead, just type the name of the one that you're trading, right? The one that you're trying to make some money at. Forex, good, Trevor, all right? Some of you have a little bit of Forex experience, not too many of you though, but most of you have a little stock trading experience. You got your stock trading account open, maybe you got an account with Options Express, right? You're looking for that market that gives you that set of advantages that you can trade with, okay? Fact of the matter is, those of you that have a stock market account, here's what I'm going to tell you. You can make money in the stock market. There's just no doubt about it, all right? But you have to understand that when you go to trade stocks, you don't get a lot of leverage, okay? It's usually 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, right? Maybe they let you borrow a little bit on margin, but it's really kind of a capital-intensive exercise. One of the things that keeps people from trading stocks is they got a regular job. All right, so either they have to go all in on the commitment, all right, and be able to trade when the market's open, or they kind of have to figure out a way to do it between 9 and 4:30, all right, not the easiest thing to do. And that also limits their liquidity. When the market closes, what happens? Well, you can't move your position until the following morning. What does that do? That increases your level of risk. So yes, you can make money in the stock market, but there's a whole lot that you have to know just to be able to get started and really know the ins and outs of it. Now, for my options traders, all right, I'm going to tell you, you can make money in the options market. You know that. And we get a couple of additional advantages when we trade options, all right? A lot of people who want to trade stocks but don't have a lot of money, they come to the options market because it gives them a chance at some leverage, right? Every one of those contracts is 100-to-1 leverage, and that's fine, but you pay for it, right? Spreads are kind of big, and you know that. Right, and the fact of the matter is we're always fighting against time because every options contract expires. We got the same limited hours that we have in the stock market, and the fact of the matter is risk is pretty high when we trade options. You know this stuff, and you've been trying to overcome this stuff, and what you're really looking for is the place that does all of that. Well, what I'm going to tell you is this. The Forex market, gang, takes all of the good stuff and puts it in one place. All right, this is why so many people are coming to the Forex to trade it. The leverage is great, 50 to 1, write that down. Okay, that means you don't have to bring a lot of money here to make a whole lot of noise. If you got $2,000 capital, you're in great shape. All right, I'll show you today what you can do with $200. Wait till you see it. All right, the market's open round the clock, which means what? Well, two things. Number one, you can get in or out of this market whenever you want. Number two, it's convenient as heck. If you're in New Zealand or if you're in Alaska, you're still going to be able to find time to trade it. Now, the upside's phenomenal. Here's the best part. This market's actually built to protect your downside, and I'm going to show you how. And the beauty of all this is that it's easy to understand, and what I'm going to tell you is if you're not trading Forex right now, don't worry about it. I can turn you into a trader in about 10 minutes. All right, a Forex trader, at least with the mechanics. That's actually the easy part. But give me about an hour, and I'll turn you into a Forex trader today, and you're going to see all the advantages that come with this. I'm Joe Cavallaro. All right, I've been trading markets since I graduated from college back in 1994, traded them all, licensed in them all. All right, stock, options, commodities, futures, and Forex. I've been a principal at a couple of firms. I've been the prop trader at a couple of firms. I used to work at the World Trade Center. I still have my ID card from there. And the fact of the matter is I've run 15 and 20-person trading desks for private equity groups. Now, what does all that mean to you? The two most important things. Number one, I know the difference between the markets, okay? I know the one that's going to give you the most advantages, and I'll be able to share that with you so that you can decide if this is a market you want to trade, okay? Number two, I've managed trading desks. You know what my job is, right? It's to make sure that every last person on that trading desk has a positive P&L. Give them the tools that they need to be successful and get them in that direction. Okay, so I'm going to pretend today that you just sat down on my trading desk, all right? And every person that sits down wants to know, how do I do this? How do I make money at it, right? What are my keys to success? Here they are. Go ahead and take some notes. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. First thing, you got to pick the right market, okay? That is going to be a crucial decision. That's going to be up to you. If you're in the information gathering stage, great. All right, and you know not everything that shines is a diamond, right? Not everything that glitters is gold, right? You're investigating to make sure that this whole thing makes sense, and that's what our hour is going to be about, okay? One of the things you have to understand, though, this is critical in my experience, and I think that this is one thing that most people need to understand. You're going to need some people to borrow from, okay, when it comes to trading. You want to borrow their expertise. You want to borrow from them in terms of their ability to generate profits. The bottom line is you can go hunting at Barnes & Noble, all right, for that thing that you're looking for to help you generate profits. Well, how about this? Instead of kind of reinventing the wheel, find somebody that does it. Find somebody that's got a track record and say, hey, can I come trade with you, right? That's going to shorten your path to profits by probably a factor of 10 if they say, yeah, come trade with us, all right? What I'm going to show you today is you're going to have an opportunity to do that. You can do it with our group, all right? You got to have some education that just makes sense. You got to have a system that works, all right? You've got to have a system that works. Please write that down, a formula, okay? Success isn't a fantasy, all right? It's a formula. It's a series of steps that you're going to follow that keep on leading you to success and give you an edge. All right, you got to have a couple of tools that give you clarity, right? Software tools, you know that. But really the most important thing, I think, is the team. And once you got all that together, you got to show up, okay? You got to keep showing up. That's one of the most critical things. Every day that you participate in the market, right, it's like money in the bank. I don't care if you're doing it as a practice account. I don't care if you're just reading the Wall Street Journal. All right, you got to be committed to this exercise in order for it to pay you well. All right, if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. All right, so you're going to have a certain level of mental space that you reserve for this. Now, one thing everybody wonders is, am I going to have to be glued to my computer? With stocks and options, probably. But with Forex, give me 20 minutes a day. You give me 20 minutes a day, I'll show you how to make money at this. And the bottom line is, gang, results are the name of the game. All right. I don't want to waste anybody's time until I start talking about results. And what I need to know from you is this: now that we're all here, okay, and we got some momentum, let's go ahead and communicate a little bit, because you have a number in mind. All right, you have a number in your head that's going to make this a worthwhile exercise to you. In other words, I need to know from you how much you need to make from this thing every month in order for it to be worth your time. And if you would, type that number in the chat box. Some of you, if you could make $1,000 a month at this, that'll be worth your time. If I can show you something that works, right? Some of you want to make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in order for this to be worth your time. Some of you need more than that, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month. What number do you need? And I want you to type it on a monthly basis in the chat box, because what you're doing right now is going to be helping me. All right, you're going to be giving me a target that I'm going to look to hit for you personally. All right, so go ahead and do that. Type that number that you have in mind in the chat box. On a monthly basis, what do you need? Take 10 seconds. I'm going to get a sip of water. Here we go. $2,000. $2,000 a month, right? Pays the mortgage. If you can pay that, that'll give you a little breathing room. That's a good number. $5,000 a month. I like that number. That's a good one, right? An extra $60,000 a year would make you happy. Now here come the big numbers, right? $10,000, $20,000, right? $5,000 a month target. Good for you, Steve. Johnny, I like your number. Keep that number there. 10,000 pounds. All right. 4,000, 3,000. Somebody typed 8333. You know why? Because that's 100,000 a year. Good number, right? All right. Here's the million-dollar question. If I can show you something that works today, right, and you can get that number, my question for you is, will you spend 20 to 30 minutes on this in order to get it? Let me say it again, because this is a commitment question. It's a yes or no question. I want you to type that answer. If I can show you something that works today, I got to do my part, okay? And you can get that number that you just gave me. My question for you is, will you spend 20 to 30 minutes a day on this in order to master this, in order to get that number? Type that answer in the chat box. And if your answer is no, then this is a short webinar for you, right? And that's okay. Trading's not for everybody, okay? But all of you just said, all right, look at all my yes answers. Yeah, right? If you can show me how to make $5,000 a month, I'm listening. I'll be there. 20 minutes a day, I got it. Somebody says an hour, right? Okay. Now I got to do my part. You just committed to it, and I'm going to hold you to it, all right? But now I got to show you something that works. And what I believe in doing, all right, is making sure that you understand that, well, let's just talk about results, all right? We can talk about results at the end. I'm going to talk about them at the beginning, okay? And here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to send something to you in the chat box, all right? At the risk of losing my ADD people, all right? I'm sending you a copy of this thing right now. You know what this is? This is our results, third-party verified, year to date. Now, what does this say? Well, this says, so far this year, in the Forex market, our traders, right, third-party verified, have racked up 78,122 pips. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you were a trader, right, trading our recommendations, and you were trading for $1 a pip, that means that so far, net this year, you'd be up $78,122. That's a pretty good number, right? It's about an extra $6,000, $7,000 a month. Now, could you trade for more, right? Instead of $1 a pip, $2, $3? Yeah, I'll show you how to do that. But if you were trading just for $1 a pip, this is where you'd be. And what I want you to see, most important, is this. And you'll be able to scroll through this, all right? These are the traders that are in our trading room that are going to trade the formula that I'm going to show you, okay? If you're trading with Josh, you're trading with Gary, you're trading with Tyson, you're trading with Jose, what I'm going to show you is this. You can click through this and see our results, all right? And when you look at results, when you look at track records, the one thing you have to be discerning about before you start participating in anything, all right, is you want to see a nice, smooth growth curve, okay? You don't want to see somebody that got lucky a couple of times, right, and then they call it a track record. You want to see something that works over time, where money gets made on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis with consistency. All right, you want to see something like right down here. Look, this is my favorite stat. When you scroll over this, this is where the rubber meets the road. On almost 800 trades this year, all right, what does that show? We got a 76% winning percentage, right, using the formula that I'm going to show you. Now, first thing a lot of people think is, wow, 800 trades sounds like a lot. Well, that's about 2 trades a day. That'll take you 20 to 30 minutes. And if I can show you something where you get 3 winners out of 4, gang, you got it. You're done. You don't have to look for anything else anymore, okay? So now I got to do this for you, all right? What I'm telling you is these results, right, are third-party verified, and the fact of the matter is this is what we're getting. So if what I say to you makes sense, all right, at the end, you're going to be able to jump into that trading room today, right? Come trade with us. So we're going to go a little over an hour, right? By the time we're done, right? You're going to know more about making money in the Forex than 99% of the people on the planet. I'll demonstrate a software tool. I'll show you the formula. Write that down, all right? I'll prepare you to get into that trading room with us, and market's open. Might as well do a couple of live trades, all right? I'll be able to show this to you in real time. I'll give you everything you need, right, to get started today. And the beauty of all this is anything I show you, you'll be able to take advantage of risk-free to you financially. All right, let's go. Let's get the ball rolling. All right, and here's what I'm going to tell you. Forex market's easy, right? It's easy to learn. Why? Because you don't have to learn 6,000 stocks like you would in the stock market. In the currency market, you know how many you have to know? 6. Now, most of you know them by heart already. But if you don't, write down the list, because these are the currencies that you are going to be trading, all right? The Canadian, the euro, the pound, the yen, the Swiss, and the Australian, all right? Currencies you've heard of. Now, fact is, we might go off the list once in a while, right? We might trade the New Zealand dollar here and there. We might trade the Mexican peso here and there. If there's an opportunity, of course we're going to look at it. But for the most part, when you trade with us, you're going to trade the major currencies, all right? And what do we do when we trade currencies? We trade the exchange rate. It's really simple, all right? Most of you know what an exchange rate is just by looking at it, right? You've been traveling, you've been to the bank, you see this information, you know right away. You can exchange €1 for the dollar at the going rate. You hand over €1, they hand you back about $1.10 US. And if you know that, all right, you are 90% of the way there. I just have to add one more piece of information to turn you from a tourist into a trader, okay? Tourists, they talk about exchange rates in dollars and cents. Traders talk about these last 2 decimal places over here. Now, what do we call those? You got dollars and cents. These are called the pips. Write that down. PIP stands for price, interest, point. All right? As traders, what are we looking to do? We're looking to capture pips, tiny little moves in the exchange rate. Because understand, exchange rates, yes, they go up and down, all right? But they don't go up dollars and cents at a time. They go up or down pips at a time. And we're going to look to capture those pips while we trade, all right? Exchange rates. What makes them go up or down? This is simple too. It's all about strength and weakness, right? And you've been paying attention, so you've seen it, right? We had a weak pound right after the Brexit. What happened? Exchange rates were going down, okay? If we have a strong euro, what's going to happen? Exchange rates are going to go up. Let's just say, as an example, okay, the exchange rate goes from 110.35 to 110.85. Well, that's a difference of 50 pips. You see that? 3rd and 4th decimal place, now you know where to find them. So the last thing you need to know before we can go trade is how you're going to go get them, all right? You're going to trade currencies in lots. Please write that down, lots of currency. In the stock market, you trade shares, right? 100 shares, 1,000 shares, great. Currency, you trade lots. Now you have to understand, every time you buy or sell a currency, you're going to buy or sell in what's called a lot. Now what's a lot worth? Well, a lot's worth $100,000 in currency. That's a big number, okay? Let me make sense out of it for you. In the old days, right, of currency trading, if you came to me and said, Joe, I heard there's an opportunity, what do I need to do? I would have had to tell you, well, to get started, you got to open an account and put $100,000 in it minimum, just to begin, all right? That kind of limited the audience for currency trading. But today, it's different. Okay, today you don't have to come up with the big number to get started. Here's what's going to happen. Yes, you're going to open an account. All right, I'm going to show you how to do it in a minute. It's easy, takes no time at all. What you're going to do is you're going to make a deposit in that account. Let's say you've got $2,000 in trading capital. You make that deposit. Here's what's going to happen. The broker that you work with is going to match your deposit 50 times, 50 to 1. That's where the leverage comes from. For every dollar you put in, they're going to put in 50, and that's what's going to get you in the market. How do you figure? Do the math, right? 2,000 times 50, 100,000. Now you're in the game. Okay, so what's the point? You need the broker to provide you the leverage. The nice part is they do it. That's just how this works. Okay, now everybody's first question is why? Why do they do it? Why are they so helpful? All right. Well, there's an answer to that too, and I told you I'd tell you what you need to know to make a good decision on this. Here's what you need to know. Yes, there's something in it for the broker, all right? It's called the spread. Write that down, okay? The spread. On every trade you do, the broker is going to collect a couple of those pips, all right? It's like a tip, a toll, a commission, whatever you want to call it. We call it the spread. In exchange for those couple of pips, they provide you the leverage, Okay, so yeah, that's an expense. You're going to pay it. I pay it. Everybody pays it. Okay, but when you understand the power of all this, and I'll do some examples, you'll understand clearly that that's a pretty fair way to do things. All right, so now guess what? You're ready to put it together. You're ready to do your first trade. Really, Joe, we've only been here for 15 minutes. I know. All right, but if you want to step into the market and buy a currency, watch how easy this is. What you're going to do is go to a platform that looks just like this. Some of you probably have one of these already. For the rest of you, this is a Forex trading platform. Okay, this is what you're going to have right on your desk. I'll show you how to open it in a minute, but this is what you're going to trade from. Okay, over here on the left, you got your currencies. There's the Canadian, the Euro, the Pound, the Yen, the Swiss, and the Australian. Okay, down below, you got some different combinations. Why are they blinking? Market's open. Okay, underneath each of those currencies, you got a buy button and a sell button. Over here, you got a nice looking chart that shows you, right, your currency in a certain period of time. This is the Euro on the 5-minute chart. If I want to look at the pound, I drop down the menu, I click on pound, and I can look at that on the 30-minute chart, for example. Okay? Now, if this is the one I want to trade, watch how easy it's going to be for me to trade it. All right? All I need to do is come over here, find the pound, there it is, click on the buy button. When I do, an order ticket comes up. Now, this couldn't be much easier. It's practically filled out for you. Okay? It says you're going to buy the Great British Pound. Now, how much are you going to buy? You're going to buy one lot of it. Okay? That's $100,000. Okay? 100 grand. 2 grand of your money, and they fill in the rest. All you have to do at this point is come down here and click submit. Now, watch what happens. Boom. In 1 second, you're in the market. You bought the Great British Pound. Okay? In 1 second, look, things start to happen quickly. There's a little triangle that marks your trade. You see that right there? That's where you got in. And now look, it's also up here in your score sheet. Okay? This is your account. You bought one lot of the Great British Pound, right? There it is. And this is the price you paid, $125.09. And now what's happening? The market is keeping track, pip at a time, right? Every pip up or down is going to be reflected in your P&L. Now, what do you notice? Things happen pretty quickly around here, right? I don't want you to worry about this part just yet. We're definitely going to worry about that in a minute. I just want to know if the mechanics of that look easy enough to you, right? Do you think you could kind of get this thing organized? Could you get your head around this, a buy button and a sell button, a chart and a way to keep score? If you can, just type yes in the box so I can move on from this point, please. I just want to know that you can handle this, okay? No, it's not hard. Right. Yes. Just type yes if you can handle this, and I can move on from this point. I'll get a sip of water real quick. But this is what this is what your desk is going to look like. Okay. Now, a couple of you said, well, where do you get the account? Okay, let me show you that because that's important. All right. Let me help you get started. Okay. Here. If you want to open an account, you got to go to one of the broker websites. All right. Let's just say you went to Oanda. That's who this group is. All right. They're a group out of Toronto. All right. Fair enough. They're a worldwide broker. You want to open an account, you go to their website, you click on open a trading account. When you do, all right, it's going to ask you for some basic information, name, email address, and pick a username and password. Send in this form. This will take you about 15 seconds. What you're going to do next is go check your email. They'll send you a link for their platform. You click on that, you'll have this. All right, now, no, Oanda's not the only group. All right, you can also go to forex.com. They're the biggest in the world. Okay, you go to their website, forex.com, you click on open an account, watch this, all right? Couldn't be any easier, 5 minutes to get started, okay? Get an account open that's going to be critical for you. And here, I'll give you one more, FXCM, okay? Another worldwide broker, okay? No matter where you are, I'm giving you the biggest, okay? I'm giving you the biggest, the ones that are New York Stock Exchange listed or have the biggest reputations because that's who you want to be working with, all right? We're not a broker, but I'm pointing you in the right direction. Click on open an account, okay? They all look the same. You got buy and sell buttons, you got a chart, and you got a place to keep score, all right? You can download them all on your tablets or your cell phone. It's great, okay? Get the account open, and then you can make a deposit and get ready to trade. You can literally be trading today. Now, some of you might say, well, wait a minute, I'm brand new. What am I going to put money into an account? And I don't even know what I'm doing yet. Okay, here's what you're going to do. For those of you that say, let me investigate, okay, instead of opening an account, come over here, open a practice account. All right, click on this button. You're still going to give them the same information. Okay, you're still going to tell them what country you're in so they know when it comes time for you to do your deposits or withdrawals, that you can do it in your home currency. That's going to make your life easier. There's two. Okay? You're still going to get the same tools, but instead of putting money in, they'll put money in. Okay? They'll give you $50,000 worth of, let's call it play money, so that you can do what? Well, you can get this downloaded on your desk, right? And you can get a feel for it. You can get a feel for what the buttons do. You can go exploring a little bit. You can do a couple of trades. You can see how quickly things happen, right? Get a feel for the market, right? And that's going to help you. All right, that's a good exercise. You do that for a couple of days, and then you make a deposit, right? When you know what the heck you're doing, instead of fumbling around trying to figure out what button to push. All right? I'm here to tell you, gang, that this is the kind of thing I want you to be able to take advantage of. All right? What we did here was very simple. We placed a quick trade on the pound. No, we didn't pick the pound by accident. Okay, I did a little homework before we got here. But when you can make 94 bucks, all right, live, and it took you about, I don't know, 2 minutes, 112 bucks, 2 minutes, I got to believe that that's okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close that trade right now. We're going to take our little profit from it. All right. So now we've been at it for 24 minutes, and we've already had a profitable webinar. All right. Yes, I know. We got more work to do. All right. But I don't want you just thinking about $100 or whatever. I want you to think about this as a repeatable exercise that you can do over and over again. So now we got to do some work. All right. Now we got to do some work because we got to go capture some of those pips. Every time the market moves, all right, it moves up or down a pip. Now, we just captured a few pips, but imagine this. Imagine the pound trade, right, move 60 pips while you're in it, 60, okay? It's less than a penny on the pound. Do you know what you stand to make? Well, you do the math on this. One lot times 60 pips, that equals $600, okay, on a $2,000 investment. Those are the kind of numbers that we like, right? 30% on our money, $600, right? Now, I know what you're thinking. What's my downside? I'll show you that. I know what else you're thinking. How often does that happen? I'll show you that. But what you need to know first is how much those pips are worth. Now, you've already done the math. If it took you 60 pips to make $600, what it means is each pip is worth $10. Write that in your notes. Each pip is worth $10. How often do these 60 pip moves happen? Every day. Okay, in every currency. This is the average opportunity every day in every one of these currencies, and it's a lot more than 60 pips, okay? On the euro, it's more than double that, right? On the pound, it's almost triple that, right? And so on down the page. What you need to understand is you do not have to capture all of these to make serious money, okay? You don't even have to capture one of these. If you get a half of one of these, if you get 60 pips a day, okay, you're making $600, right? That's $3,000 a week. On a $2,000 account, this is the only place you can do it, okay? $12,000 a month, this is what I'm telling you, okay? What you need to understand, though, is you're brand new. So you might not be able to get 60 pips, all right? Let's say you can get half of that, 30. As far as I'm concerned, that's still serious money, okay? 30 pips is $300. 5 days a week, $1,500 a week, $75,000 a year in 20 minutes. Okay, that's the goal, right? Don't quit your day job just yet. But if I can add 75 grand to your 2017 income, I've done something. Okay, so let me show you how this is going to work. It's not going to take long, right? You're going to be able to use this today. You'll get started with it today, and you're going to start seeing results. We get this all the time. People that have been at it for a short time, right, are doing very well. My favorite of these is not the guy that made $500 in a day. Okay, that's nice, all right, but I want you to start thinking of doing this, gang, as an exercise you can do for the rest of your life. Robbie started 1.5 years ago. What does he say? I didn't know the first thing about this. Now I'm consistent because I got the formula, right? Now I'm making 20% a week. Where else can you talk like that? Not too many places. This is one of them, so keep paying attention because everything we do, gang, none of it's guesswork. All right, let's get serious right now. So you know that when you work with us, there's no guesswork. You're always going to follow a plan. Now, what's the simplest plan? Well, Peter Cook describes it right here. Comes into the trading room. We identify the opportunity. He buys it, protects both sides, and leaves it alone. You want to see what a good trade looks like? Right here, okay? He bought it. That's the easy part, right? You already did that one. You click on the buy button and fill out the ticket. But the minute you do that, everything below you is risk. Every time you trade in this market with us, what you're going to do is build a floor underneath your trade called a stop order. Okay, a stop order protects you. And the fact of the matter is, You place that one in case it goes against you, right? If you don't have it, the thing can fall off of a cliff. If you do have it, the furthest down you can fall is down to your stop. Now listen, because the market's liquid, right, and it's open 24 hours, guess what happens to your stop? It gets honored. There's not a lot of nonsense to deal with like you do in other markets, okay? So you'll be able to sleep at night with a stop order on knowing that you're protected. That's a big deal, okay? Now what else are you going to do? You're also going to set an order above the market called a limit or a target order, okay? That's the one that protects your profit when it shows up. And the fact of the matter is that's automatic too, okay? When you set up a trade like this, both sides are protected. Now what do? You leave it alone. You go drop your kids off at school. You go do whatever it is you like to do during the day. And the fact is, only one of two things will happen. Your trade's either going to go up or it's going to go down. Please keep things simple. Too many people try to impress you with the fancy vocabulary and this and that. Gang, trading's simple. Okay? It can only go one of two ways. If it goes down, you get a small loss. If it goes up, you get a nice gain. And that's really the end of it. Right? In this case, he risked 10 pips to make $800. What happened? Well, of course, I'm going to show you a good one. Went to his limit, okay? Made himself 80 pips, $800, all right? And that's the name of the game. Now he just rinse and repeat. That's how this is going to work. So if you're going to do this, here's what I want you to do. I want you to do every trade the same way I just showed you. Now watch how easy this is. Let's pick a different currency, all right? Let's say we're going to pick the Japanese yen. Here it is right here. Okay, let's go buy it. Now, the order ticket pops up. I want to get a look at it first. Here, I'll bring up the Japanese yen. We'll look at it on the 5-minute chart. Now, watch this. All right, anybody can click the buy button. That's easy. Okay, order ticket comes up. You're going to do a one-lot trade. Okay, it's about $2,000 a year money. All right, the broker fills in the rest. But before you go buying it, I want you to click the stop loss button. Don't take undue risk. Right? If this is at 112.91, okay, we can risk 15 pips, all right? And we want to make what? Well, let's see if we can make 30 pips. So what's that? 30 pips is 113.22. Now watch this. As soon as I click the submit button, all of this stuff happens instantaneously at the same time, okay? Boom. I click submit. 1 second later, not only am I in the market, not only is my order executed, but it's also protected to the downside, that's the red line, and it's protected to the upside, that's the green line. That's what a good trade looks like. Now, if you don't like where I put the stop, here, you can click on that and just move it around, all right? It's all point and click. You can move it down here, you can move it up here, right? More risk, less risk. Wherever you decide to put it, all right, you're going to be kind of messing with these as you go in your trades, raising your stops, raising your targets, doing what it is that you would do. But don't think it's complicated. It's not. It's point and click stuff, okay? And that's the mechanics of trading. In 1/2 hour, all right, I got you through it. I showed you the mechanics of it, and I know you can do this. So now what? Now it's going to be a matter of getting you from doing this just mechanically and getting you to the point of doing it for real and making money at it, all right? Here's what you need to do. You got to get that account open. What are you going to do? Well, if you got $2,000, you trade for $10 a pip, okay? If you don't have $2,000 and you just want to dip your toe in the water, right, then you trade $200. What good's that going to do you? Well, you get 50-to-1 leverage, right? So you still get to have a substantial position, but you'll trade for $1 a pip. Can you make money doing that? I already showed you, right? Yes, you can. How have we been doing? $1 at a time, 78,000 pips. So if you want to dip your toe in the water, what you need to know is the worst case scenario is you lose your 200 bucks, okay? The best case scenario, what I show you works and you can keep doing it, okay? So hang with me. Come on, let's do this. What you're going to use for absolute clarity is this. You're going to use our software tool. This is called Ultimate Charting Software. Now you got to start paying attention because what's going to happen at the end, if this makes sense to you, I'll give you a chance to get it on your desk, try it and test it for 60 days, right? See if it works, risk-free, okay? So hang with me on that. We've got over $1 million invested into this piece of software, all right? And I want to look at it with you right now. I'll show you what all the buttons do, okay? Let's look at it with the euro on the 1-month chart. Now, what does software have to do if it's worth anything? It's got to show you which way the market's going. It has to, or it's worthless if it doesn't. It's got to show you where to get in and where to get out. It's got to help you, all right? There's too many software pieces that have every bell and whistle, and they're so confusing you don't even know where to begin, right? They sort of dump every feature on you and say, isn't that valuable? But it doesn't tell you what you need to know, right? Which way is the market going? If you know that, well, that increases your opportunity to make money by a factor of 10, okay? That's the most important thing. It's got to tell you which way the market's going, right? If you don't know that, it's hard to make money. If you do know it, it's hard to lose money, okay? So you got to know that. Now, what you also need to know is this. The Forex market, gang, is different than any of these other markets for this main reason. The Forex market repeats itself, okay, over and over and over again. You got to write that down. And what you have to understand is this market develops patterns. Now, we're going to read the patterns on the chart using these blue and white candlesticks. You've seen these before, okay? Most of you know what candlesticks are. When you see white ones, the market's going up. You see blue ones, the market's going down, right? Market never goes straight up or straight down. It always moves in waves and patterns. I want to isolate a pattern right now, okay? This is going to help you. I'm going to isolate a pattern called ABCD. Write that in your notes. ABCD, where the market starts at a low price, right, and then what? Moves to a high price, okay? Goes from A to B. But what happens when it gets to B? Kind of runs out of gas, right? Pulls back a little bit down to another low price, letter C, before what? Moving up again to a high price, right? Letter D. So ABCD is the pattern I want to look at. And I want you to know something, okay? There's a tool that's built into this program that can take two measurements, okay? It'll measure the energy or the distance in the market from A to B, okay? It'll also take another measurement, right, from B to C. And with those two measurements, okay, before it happens, it can actually tell you not just which way the market's going next, but how far. Now let me say that again, okay? This tool that's built into the program can take two measurements from A to B and then from B to C. And then just taking those two measurements, it can tell you where the market's going next, as well as how far it's going to go. Now, I know what that sounds like, okay, because that sounds like a pretty tall order. Joe, if you had a tool that could do that, I mean, what is that? Is that like a crystal ball? Because I've been looking for one, right? If I had a tool that could do that, that's the tool that you need. Okay, that's the tool that is going to give you an edge. I got to believe if you had a tool that could tell you which way the market was going to go next, that you could make some money with that. Well, the tool that's built into this program does that, gang. It's called the Fibonacci tool. Please write that down. All right, let's really get into the nitty-gritty here. The Fibonacci tool, the Fibonacci sequence. Some of you know what this is. For the rest of you, okay, let me tell you about Fibonacci. Okay, Fibonacci was actually an Italian mathematician who came up with a series of numbers, a sequence of numbers that can literally be used to measure everything in nature, all right? That's why they call it nature's numbering system. If you haven't heard of this before, when we're done, Google it, read up. It's fascinating stuff, all right? The Fibonacci sequence of numbers can literally be used to measure everything. If you want to count the number of scales on a fish, that's a Fibonacci sequence. It'll tell you exactly, all right? You want to know how many petals are on a sunflower? That's a Fibonacci sequence. It'll tell you exactly. Okay, we use it on the human body, right, to measure our symmetry, length of our arms, length of our legs, the shape of your ear. That's a Fibonacci sequence. You've seen that picture before with the human with the circle around it, right? That's Fibonacci, okay? It literally works to measure every living thing, and it's all about patterns and energy, okay? Well, the people around here said, wait a second, the Forex market is all patterns and energy. So if we can take that Fibonacci thing and plug it in here and it works, that's going to be the key to making serious money. Well, guess what? We plugged it in here and it works, okay? And we built our whole company on this for the past 22 years. This is going to help you, okay? All you're going to have to do when you get this on your desk is be able to identify a low price and a high price, and you're going to be able to use this, all right? If you can identify a low price and a high price and draw a line between the two, what's going to happen is the Fibonacci sequence is going to show up on your desk automatically. Okay? There it is. Now it looks like a step ladder, and it's color-coded. What's going on here? Well, the market's moved from a low price to a high price, A to B. All right? There was positive energy pushing the market up. But once it got to letter B, what happened? It ran out of gas, right? And it pulled back down here to this low price before making a U-turn, all right? What I want you to see is where that low price is. We're going to call it letter C.
And I want you to see very quickly how that lines up right here with one of these Fibonacci numbers, okay? These are very important. These are the Fibonacci numbers, okay? And when you see, right, that this low price lines up with one of these Fibonacci numbers, some people call these energy levels. I call them trampolines. You know why? Because when the market comes down and bounces off one of those trampolines, just like if you and I were bouncing off of it, we'd be going up. Well, guess what? This market's going up. That's our direction, okay? And you can see that right now. That's exactly what's happening. But what you have to know is this, okay? Not only do we know which way the market's going, we actually know how far it's going to go. How? We know how far it's going to go because this is color-coded, okay? If I bounce off a red trampoline, what you got to understand is this market's going up, and it's not going to stop till it gets all the way up there to that red line, that red price. Okay, that's where the market's going. Now, your first question was the same as mine. How do you know that? How do you know not just which way it's going, how do you know how far it's going to go? I mean, really? That was my first question, all right? Here's the answer I got. I'm going to give it to you. Let me show you how this works first, then I'll show you that it does, okay? We'll do example after example. You have to see that it works, right? But let me show you how first. And we're going to see examples where the market does any number of things. Let's say we see an example where the market goes from A to B, but when it pulls back lower, okay, before it makes the U-turn. What you have to notice is where that low price is. In this case, it lines up with the blue trampoline. If that's the case, guess what? Market's going up. And it's not going to stop till it gets to the blue line. All right, just match the colors, red to red, blue to blue. Okay, if the market pulls all the way back down here to the green line, it's still going up. It's still going to bounce off of this trampoline, but it's only going to come up to the green line. Okay, now you know how it works. Let me show you that it does. Okay, what happened here? Market went from A to B, right, pulled back all the way down here to this low price letter C, and then what? It bounced. It made a U-turn. Okay. What I'm telling you is this market's going up, and it's not going to stop till it gets all the way up there to that red line, that red price in the future. That's letter D, right? A, B, C, D. That part hasn't happened yet, but that's where we're going. Now, if this works, what does it mean? It means the distance from where we are to where we're going is our profit opportunity. Put some numbers on it. What's the current price? Well, it's $1.27. Well, what's our future price? It's $1.60. How do you know? Because it says so right here, $1.6051. The Fibonacci sequence will tell you right down to the pip how far this is going, okay? And the difference is going to be your profit. Well, put that on a calculator. What is the difference? It's about 3,351 pips, which means if you did a one-lot trade, okay, $2,000 in, $10 a pip, this just became a $33,000 conversation, okay? Now what? You're like, well, show me if that works, right? Because that looks a little better than I'm getting on my mutual funds. And that's fine. I got to show you that it works. When I first saw this, I was dazzled because what happened, gang, was exactly what the Fibonacci sequence said was going to happen. Not only did the market go up, it went all the way up there to that red line. It completed the sequence, okay? A, B, C, D. It completed the sequence. You did that trade, you made $30,000, all right? Now, my first question was, okay, now what's happening? Why are the candles changing color, right? We're not going up anymore. What's going on, right? Now I got a blue candle. You know what they told me? Of course we're going down. We're changing direction because we're starting another sequence. And these sequences happen over and over and over again, right? They happen continuously in all the currencies, right? And in all the time frames. Some of you are mad at me, right? You're doing this on the monthly chart. Do I really have to wait, you know, X amount of months to make $30,000? I love that. People come to my webinar and they say, I want to make money now. I show them how to make money now. They say, oh, this is a get-rich-quick scheme. Then I tell them, okay, you can wait for the money. And they say, I want to make it now. And we go around in a circle. All right? Just pay attention because you're going to see that this works in all the time frames. Then you decide how you want to trade it. All right? This makes the market measurable without a doubt. Okay? You'll see that it's repeatable. Best part, this is going to make it predictable. This is going to change your life if you can capture this. And we're going to go live and do it right now. I'm going to marry it to a formula. All right? ABC 1, 2, 3. It's simple. Okay? 3 charts. If you're serious, you're going to stick with me. And I'll get you through 3 charts. The monthly chart will give us our direction. The daily chart will confirm that we're on the right side of the market, taking low risk. Okay? Then we go to the 2-hour chart and we trade it. Simple. I'll show you exactly how we do it, and I'm going to set you up today with real numbers. I'll show you how to make 3,000 pips on the pound and the yen right now, okay? I'll even show you how we'll help you get it. Let's do it, all right? No need to wait any longer. Let's just go live in the market. Live in the market. Here we go, all right? We're going live. This is what your desk is going to look like. When you get the Ultimate Charting software on your desk, all right, I've pulled up mine, and I've got some different charts already pulled up. Monthly, right, daily, 2-hour on the yen. Monthly, daily, 2-hour on the Canadian. When you get yours on your desk, though, it's going to be blank. So here's what you have to do, okay? You're going to come up here to the button that says Charting, okay? You're going to click on New Chart. You got to open up a chart. Pick out a currency. Let's use the euro, okay? And let's open up the 1-month chart just so you can see how to do this. Click on Open. It's going to bring you up a fresh chart, okay? This is a fresh chart on the euro. Right over here is what's happening now, all right? What do we need to do first? We got to show you that these Fibonacci's work. So here's what I'm going to do, all right? I'm actually going to go back in time for a minute, and I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to do when you get this on your desk, okay? Follow me. There's nothing to this. What you're going to do when you get this on your desk, you're going to have a price chart. You're going to be looking for low prices and high prices, all right? Low prices and high prices and what we call U-turns, okay? U-turn, simple, shape of the letter U. When you find one, you're going to find yourself a low price or a high price. See that? U-turn, upside down, there's the high price, okay? Watch this. Let's start right here at this high price. We're going to call it letter A, okay? What happens? The market moves from letter A all the way down here to this low price, right? We're going to call that letter B, okay? What happens? The market moved down, but then right here it stopped going down, right? And it retraced some of that downward move to this high price. We're going to call that letter C before what? Before it started moving down again, okay? Now, how do you make money with this information? Watch this. If you can draw a line from A to B, you're going to be able to figure this out. Come up here to your toolbar, right? This square that says Fibonacci Tools, click on it. When you do, right, it's going to drop a menu. The one at the top is huge. The Market Traders Institute Fibonacci Retracement Tool. Click on that. It's going to turn your cursor into a pen. See that? Draw a line from A to B. Okay? When you do that, Fibonacci sequence is going to appear on your desk automatically. There it is. Okay, it looks like a step ladder. I'm going to raise this up so you can see the whole sequence. This is the Fibonacci sequence. Okay? All these numbers are very important. How do you use them? Watch. When the market got down here to this low price, look at this. It stopped going down, and it started going up. It retraced a bunch of that move, all right? It retraced all the way up here to letter C before what? Before it started going back down again. What's actually happened here? The market has actually come up to this red line, this red energy level, this red trampoline. And what's happening is this. That trampoline is actually acting on the currency to push it in a downward direction. You can't argue with that. That's happening. Okay, it's moving down. So now we got our direction. But here's the beauty, all right? This tool will actually tell us in this market, okay, exactly how far down we're going to go. All we got to do is match the color. If this works the way that I said, this market's going down, and it's not going to stop till it gets all the way down here to this red price sometime in the future. So guess what? D, right, is out here. Hasn't happened yet. But what it means is if this works, this area is your profit opportunity. Let's see if it's worth your time to even bother looking into it. All right, what's the current price? Let me click on the candle. Current price, 104.23. Okay, what's our future price? Where are we supposedly going? Well, according to this, we're going to 83.01. So if I put that on a calculator, right, if I'm at 104.23 and I'm supposedly going to 83.01, that's a difference of 2,122 pips. One lot trade, right? 2,000 in, $10 a pip. This just became a $20,000 conversation, if it works. How do I know if it works? Simple. Go forward in time and you'll see it, right? When we go forward in time, what do we notice? We notice that what? The market doesn't go straight up or straight down. We wish that it would, okay? But you've seen this before. You know, right, what a downward trend looks like, and the fact of the matter is that's what's happening here. The market continues to make lower highs, lower lows, continues that downward energy until what? Until it hits a low price and makes a U-turn, okay? That's a U-turn, just like this one, A, this one, B, this one, C. Guess what you found? You just found letter D. There it is at the low price. And what I want you to notice is this, okay? Look where it is. Look where that is. See that? Look what it lines up with. it lines up with the red Fibonacci number. In other words, exactly what the Fibonacci sequence said was going to happen, happened. We went from red to red exactly. And as soon as we got there, as soon as we completed the sequence, we changed direction. You know why? Because now we're on another sequence. Now, when I first saw this, I was on the edge of my seat. I said, show it to me again. Just show it to me again. Let me see that it works. Let me see that it works consecutively over and over. All right? What they told me was, just keep doing what I'm showing you. Okay? You go forward in time, and now you have this. You have an opportunity, okay, to do a little bit of analysis and see if you can tell where the market's going. What you got to understand, though, gang, is that energy, right, is continuous, keeps moving forward. So where that old sequence ended, a new sequence begins right there, right? That's the beginning of the next sequence. Market goes from a low price to a high price. Well, we got letter A, that's letter B, okay? What happened here? The market then stopped going up and it pulled back down here to a low price and then it bounced. Well, we just found letter C. What do? We go get our Fibonacci's up here and keep doing the same thing, okay? Market goes from A to B. We draw the line. It shows us our fresh set of Fibonacci's. This is the current sequence, okay? When the market pulls back, it pulls back down here and it bounces. Now, what's it bouncing off of? Well, if you didn't have the Fibonacci sequence, you wouldn't know. But now that you do, look at, it's bouncing off. That low price is that green trampoline. What does it mean? Well, that means the market's going up and it's not going to stop till it gets to the green line. Green to green in the future, okay? If this works. Now, what's the current price? 91.01. Where are we going? Drag your mouse over the green line, it'll pop up. 98.60, okay? So if that's the case, here, we'll do this again. We're going to 98.60 and we're at 91.01. The difference is 759 pips. 759 pips. If this works, that's where we're going, okay? You can say that's a $7,600 conversation if you want to, all right? 2,000 in, 7,500 out. If you put 200 in, you're talking about taking 759 out. Either way you slice it, we're talking about making 380%. Okay? So you decide if those are the kind of numbers that you're trying to attract. All right? What I got to show you is that this works, and all I got to do is keep doing the same thing. I'll go forward in time and I'll show it to you. All right? Now it doesn't go straight up or down. Okay, but it continues to maintain what? That positive energy, higher lows, higher highs, until what? Until it completes the sequence. All right, A, B, C, green to green, look at that. We completed the sequence. Guess what happens next? You already know, right? We change direction. Why? We're on another sequence. And this, gang, happens over and over and over again, okay? And there's a reason I'm showing this to you the way that I am, so you can absolutely see it. What you're going to get used to doing is understanding that these sequences are continuous, all right? They continue to roll into the next sequence, the next sequence. All you've got to do is find that low price and high price, and you'll see that this works. What happened here, okay? Market got to a high price, then pulled back. You see that? What happened? It pulled back to a low price and it bounced. It bounced off the red trampoline. Where's it supposed to go? Red to red. Look at that. It did it. As soon as it got there, completed the sequence, changed direction, another sequence. So what do? You get on the next sequence, A to B. Okay? What happened? Market pulls back, makes a U-turn. Okay? What's it bouncing off of? Red trampoline. If that's the case, we're going up. And we're not going to stop till we get to the red line. Current price is 119 on this one. Future price is 134. Now we're talking about 1,500 pips. Okay, $15,000 wouldn't hurt your feelings. Does it work? Look, it doesn't go straight up, but it does maintain that positive push. It continues to make higher lows, higher highs until what? Until it completes the sequence. There it is again. A, B, C, D, excuse me, is another sequence. And then what happens? As soon as you complete it, we change direction again because now you're on another sequence, okay? And here's what I want to ask you right now, because I've shown you this at this point, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 times, okay? 4 complete sequences. And I don't expect you to be an expert. I just want to know if you can see them, all right? Down market, up market, consecutive sequences. You got to let me know. Can you see those? If you can, just type A, B, C, D. All right, I see your questions coming through, and I'm anticipating those. All right, Trevor, I see yours. How do you decide whether the C or the D becomes the next A? Write it down. Old C becomes new A in an uptrend. All right? You'll see it forming. Let me just keep doing the examples. It's a great question that you had. All right? You'll see it forming, but you're not going to guess. And I'll help you with that in a second. Just tell me, can you see the ones that I've drawn? A, B, C, D. I know you're not an expert yet, but I just want to know if you're following along. Do that. I'm going to get a sip of water. Yes, 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 yes. Carlos, great question. You want to know about stop losses. I'm going to keep with you on this, okay? But this is the foundation. You have to have a solid foundation. We can go ahead and add those pieces to it. We have to. That's how we become good traders. But you have to have a foundation, okay? This is it, and it works in this market, and it works over and over and over, all right? You can see that it does, and at some point, I mean, is 10 years of information enough? Because some of you, I know what you're thinking. Well, what about the presidential election? Well, in this 10 years, we had 3 of those, 96, 2000, 2004, Fibonacci's held. Well, what about the internet bubble? That was 2000. That's in there. What about the recession in 2002? That hit England and the U.S. Well, that's in there. Fibonacci still work. Okay? Fire, flood, hurricane. Fibonacci still work. It's all part of nature and patterns. Okay? And I know what you're thinking. Keep showing it to me. Bring that thing all the way forward because I want to know that it works now. Okay. What you've got to understand is, gang, when you've got an A and a B and you see a U-turn down to C and you see it bouncing off a red trampoline, all right, what I'm going to tell you is this market's going up and it's not going to stop till it gets up to that red line. And the more you do this, right, the more you see this, the more you have it on your desk and build confidence with it, pretty soon you're finally going to be able to do it, okay? Because at this point, wow, awesome, right? It hit the target. There it is, right? At this point, we're having a hell of a conversation, but it's meaningless unless you can use it. If you use it on this one, how'd you do? You went from 128 to 154. You made yourself 2,600 pips. I don't care what size you trade. That's up to you too, okay? If you don't like making $26,000, then do 2 lots. Make yourself 52,000. Now you know where the market's going, okay? When you can see the Fibonacci and the energy. But what else do you know? You know that when you get up to letter D, you know that when you complete the sequence, it's time to get out. Why? Because you know what's coming next. Once you complete the sequence, this market's going to change direction. Do you want to keep the money you just made? Then put it into your profit column, all right, and wait for the market to change direction so you can get on the next sequence. The rookie, right, the trader that doesn't have this, you know what they do? They stick around because they see that the market is making this big extension and they end up giving it all back because they didn't know that it was at the end of the sequence. You did. So now, instead of riding the market like an elevator, up, down, up, down, up, down, you can ride it like an escalator. Take the flight up, okay? Wait for the next sequence. Now what? Well, in this case, what happened? Well, we had a change of direction, okay? We had a change of direction right here. Is that anything big? Is that anything different? No. You just put Fibonacci's on it. High price, low price. What happens? Market indeed retraces up to the blue line. That's letter C, all right? Blue to blue. Is it going to work? Of course it is, okay? It goes right to it. You see that? It completed the sequence, all right? That's how this works. And I just showed you that it worked, gang, for about 20 years. Now what do you want to know? You want to know how it works right now, okay? Here's what you're going to do. Here's what you need to understand, okay? There's a tool built in here where you can use this today, and you don't have to be some super expert. You don't even barely have to know where the A's and B's are. Watch what you're going to do. You see this? What did you do? You erased it. No, 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 no. Look, look, look. There's a tool up here called the Smart Tool, Time Saver, okay? The Smart Fibonacci tool, A, B, C, D, proprietary to this software. When you click on it, watch what you can do. Your pen shows up. But instead of having to figure out, okay, is that A or B, what do I do? Just go find a low price or a high price and click on that. It'll do the rest of the work for you. Watch this. 3, 2, 1, click, boom. Shows you every sequence in order, okay, and with absolute precision, right down to the last pip. These are the ones we looked at, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, okay? But in 1 second, it showed you all of them. So now what? Well, now you come over here to real time and you say, okay, which way are we going? Let me, Joe, just show me which way, right, are we going? Well, that's what the monthly chart is for. Monthly equals direction. Write it down. Which way are we going on this euro? Go get your smart tool, go find a high price or a low price, click on it, it'll tell you which way you're going. There. This is the current sequence, okay? You got a high price and a low price. What's happened? The market has moved up to this high price here, this red trampoline, and now what's happening? Look, it's making lower highs, lower lows. The euro's going down. You want to quantify it? Current price is 106.10. Where are we going? 82.79. Okay? 82.79. 106.10 is where we are. 82.79 is where we're going. I just showed you right now, okay, that this is a what? 106.10 minus 82.79, 2,331 pip move. And it's happening. What are you going to do with that? Okay, you've got to decide. Well, it can't be that easy. Well, no, it's not. There's more to this. But now that you've done the hard part, the rest of this is going to be gravy. Okay? The rest is going to be gravy. Euro's going down. There's money to be made. Write that in your notes. I still have to show you that this works, right, on all the currencies. I got to show you that it works in all the time frames so I can get you to the point of being able to trade today with very little risk, right? Now I'm going to put all this together for you. Pay close attention because you're ready for this now, all right? Let me go to just a different currency. We'll go to the Japanese yen on the 1 month chart. What I've got to show you, and I've already marked it a little bit so that you can see it, right, is that the Fibonacci's work on all the currencies. You'll be able to do this too. And what you're going to come to the conclusion of is that this is not an accident, okay? What is that? That's an A and a B, isn't it? What happened here? The market retraced up here to the red line, okay? That's significant. Energy level, red. Price we're going to, red. You can't tell me when we go to red exactly that that's a mistake. You can't, okay? This flat out works, all right? Then what? Well, you reverse, right? Low price, high price. Look what you're looking for. Now you're starting to talk like a Forex trader. You're looking for U-turns, right? There's the low price bouncing off a red. Where does it go? Red to red. As soon as it gets there, what happens? Changes direction, all right? Now what? Now you're on another sequence, okay? A to B. Market dips down to the green line. Now, that's a different one. We haven't used that one before, all right? That low stem all the way down to green. Well, if I go green to green, okay, where am I going to end up? Right here. Look where I end up. Right there. A, B, C, D. It's not a mistake. It works consecutively, okay? And now look, it's the same thing. A to B, okay? You're like, this is the one that's not going to work. Nope. To C, red line. Red to red, right to it. Now that you know, all right, you found it. That's what you have to say to yourself. I've been doing this a long time, gang. I've seen everything, okay? I've seen every red light, green light system. I've seen every statistical upward, downward, backtest, super analysis. I've seen every red arrow, green arrow. Listen, this is what runs this market. And you can't do this with any other market, all right? Because for whatever reason, they don't quite do it the same. But this market does, and it does it over and over and over again. And what you got to understand is just by making one click of the mouse, you can tell which way the yen's going, and you can see, look at that, sequence, sequence, sequence. It's consecutive. This is your current sequence on the yen. From A to B, we've pulled back down here to this low price, and look at that U-turn. We're bouncing off the blue trampoline. What does it mean? Well, it looks like we're going from blue to blue, 129. Where are we now? Well, 113. So how much is this worth? That's 1,600 pips, okay? 1,600 pips. Now you know which way you're going. The direction is obvious. We're going from C to D. C to D. D is up here, so our direction is up. Now, if you can see that, all right, if you can see that we're going from C to D and we haven't gotten there yet, all right, but that's our direction, type the word up. Type the word up so I know that you're getting it. All right, you're on my trading desk now. I need your feedback, gang. All right, I'm trying to help you here. You got takeaways. This is important, okay, because this might have been the big eye-opener. For some of you, just what you learned in this hour is changing your life. There's no doubt about it. all right? And if you can just hang with me, because now I'm going to get you there, all right? This is moving up. So what do? Well, we've got to decide if it's the right time to go trade it. We got to go to the day chart for our confirmation. Day equals confirmation, all right? You've got to confirm that you're on the right side of the market. Well, watch how easy that is, all right? You come to the day chart on the Japanese yen. Draw yourself a trend line. I bet most of you have done this before. If you haven't, get into our trading room. We'll do this part. That's a good trend line. How do I know? Because it's super reliable, okay? Every time this market came up to this trend line for the longest time, what happened? Well, it acted like a ceiling and it pushed this market down. Every single time it came up to the ceiling, it pushed the market down. Until when? Until right here, where we broke through the ceiling. And now look, we got to change of direction. That's what we like to see, okay? We've gone from one side of the market to the other. What's on this side of the trend line? That's the sell side. Why? Because every time you came up to that trend line, you had to be a seller. Had to be, okay? But once you break through into the buy zone, okay? What did we already say? We already said on the monthly chart the currency is going up. Well, if it's going up, the only thing you want to think of is being a buyer. Well, you just confirmed that you're on the right side of the market. So now this is really starting to come together. Okay, what you've got to do is see if there's a current opportunity in here. So what do? Well, let's go get out some Fibonacci's and find out if there is. All right, high price, low price, came down to green, green to green. All right, that's where it completed the sequence. So now we have to go ahead and find a low price, right? Move it forward. There was C, becomes new A, high price, and look at that beautiful U-turn. This beautiful U-turn here is marching off of this red trampoline. Okay, look where we are. Well, if we're going from red to red, okay, looks like we're going up. Looks like we have room right now to make some money in this. We've confirmed that we're on the right side. We've confirmed that there's an opportunity. We've confirmed that the market's going up. There's nothing left to do except go trade it. We go to the 2-hour chart at this point. Now listen, I'm going to move quick, okay? I'm going to move quick now because this is the last thing. This is where the rubber meets the road. You've done ABC. Now it's time to do the last part, 1, 2, 3. What we call a 1, 2, 3 buy, getting the best possible buy price, buy low price. So you can sell high, right, and do it with limited risk, okay? Here's how you do it. Once that energy comes into the market, once that U-turn happens, this is powerful. This is what you want to look for. But I don't want you chasing it. I don't want you guessing, okay? This is how you trade properly off the 2-hour chart. What you're going to do is this. You're going to be excited when you see the market making a surge to the upside. But what you're going to do is wait so you can buy it at a discounted price. This is where the 1, 2, 3 comes in. What you're going to look for is this. A bunch of blue candles showing up, right? That's going to be the market just taking a simple breather in the short term, okay? Don't forget, monthly, we're going up. Daily, we're going up. Okay? On the 2-hour, you just want the market to take a little breather so you can get a good price going in. So your first step is, number 1, strong move down. What's your second step? Well, you don't want to buy a blue candle. Why not? Because that's the seller's in control. You want to wait till you see a white candle. Okay? You see that white candle here? Let me blow this up. There, white candle. That's your second step right there. Second step after you see a strong move down is 2. Candle goes blue to white. Okay? You want to see some buyers show up. That's the white candle. Most important, you want the white one to peak above the blue. You want the white one to be taller than the one in front of it. You see that? That's called an engulfing candle. Now we're getting fancy. Now you're going to impress your neighbors, right? An engulfing candle. What is that? All that shows you is that the buyers have overtaken the sellers. See how that sounds like common sense? When you see a white candle that's taller than the blue one, that's your second step. What's your third step? It's easy. It's right down here at the bottom. All right, we'll show you how to add this indicator to the bottom of your charts. People with a little experience will know what this is. It's a stochastic. If you're brand new, just write that word down, okay? And a lot of you might be nodding your head because you know this indicator works, and it's easy to read. All right, you got a couple of squiggly lines. All you got to know is this. If the squiggly lines are up here above the number 80, that's your sell zone. If they're down here below the number 20, that's your buy zone. Well, if you're a buyer, you want to see this stochastic thing, right, in the buy zone. We'll show you how to put that on your charts today. It's not a big deal. It's easy, okay? What you have to know is when those squiggly lines are down here, that's your third step. Now you're ready to buy. Strong move down, discounted price. Candle changing color, okay? What's that? That's buyers taking over. Stochastic in the buy zone, you're a buyer. Well, that sounds pretty easy. Yep, go buy it. I'm nervous. I know, you're new at this. Okay, do a mini lot. I'm still nervous. Do a practice lot. I don't know if I can do it right. Listen, at some point, get over it. Come watch us do it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to buy the currency, okay? We're going to buy it at 103.12. That's the price it's at right now, okay? 103.12. You want to trade without being nervous, you sweaty palms, set a stop. That's what you're supposed to do. I want you to set your stop just below the bottom of this candle, okay? Well, where's that? Well, 102.80 is the lowest price. I want you to set your stop about 10 pips below that, okay? 10 pips below that, we'll set it at 102.70, okay? 72, that's fine. We'll risk 40 pips, okay? But we're buying this thing. We're going to risk 40 pips. Well, what do you stand to make? Well, I already know what I stand to make because I know where this is going. What do you mean? Look at, you got a low price and a high price, don't you? Low price, high price, okay? This is going to 105.45. You know that ahead of time. Well, let's see if it works, okay? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're going to trade with us, every time you see a 1, 2, 3 buy, your job is to buy it. Not some of the time, not once in a while, not one time. I want you to buy it every single time. Why? Because it works. Watch. Look at. Let's go forward in time. I'll show it to you. Okay? Let's just go forward in time and you'll see it. Look at. Right off of that indicator. Okay? Right off of that 1, 2, 3. What do you have? You got a nice profit opportunity. Okay? If this is the only thing you do and you see that it works once, let's say you just did this part. Okay? Then you chickened out and you took your profit. Okay? Didn't get all the way up to that line, but you said, well, that looks pretty good to me. Guess how much you made? 77 pips, and it took you about a half a day. Okay? 77 pips would be 35% on your money in a half a day. Off of that indicator, I'm telling you. Okay? Every time you see a 1, 2, 3, I want you to buy it. That is your job. Now, what happens? The market doesn't go straight up. You might have skipped the first one. I want to see if that works. Okay, I made the money. Okay? Now it's your turn. Look at this. That's another 1, 2, 3. Strong move down, candle changing color, stochastic in the buy zone. See this? That energy is pushing the market higher. This is giving you an opportunity to buy it. Set your stop so you can do it right. Okay, yes, I'm hollering at you. Yes, I'm trying to help you and exhort you a little bit. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I don't have to. I know this works, all right? But I'm trying to tell you that at some point you got to make a decision to do something, and I know what you're looking for. You're looking for something that works finally, right? Well, how's that one look? Okay, let's say you did the second trade. How much did you make with that? Well, let's take a look. Another 80 pips, okay? That's 80 pips. And again, it took about half a day, okay? Now, if you did just this one and you hung on to it, you're up 128. But if you managed to do both of these and you maxed them out, you're up 170. You doubled your money in 2 days, okay? Do me a favor. We haven't reached this high bar yet. Look at. This is where we're going. We're not done. We're going to have another chance to buy this. I'm sure of it because the market doesn't go straight up. Just don't chase it. Wait for the pullback. Don't chase candles. Stop chasing candles. Wait for the setup. Okay? It's better to wait and not get a trade than to hurry up and get a lousy one. If you agree with that, type yes in the chat box. It's better to wait for a good trade than hurry up and get a lousy one. Because when you get a lousy one, you're a deer in headlights. When you get a lousy one, what happens? Well, you're taking too much risk. Then you get discouraged. Then you say it doesn't work. Then you throw the towel. You go back to your regular job. I don't want you to do that. I want you to wait for the good trades. Because good traders, gang, don't just do trades in volume. They do the good ones in volume. Okay? You might not see a great setup. I mean, that one doesn't look half bad. It's a little dicey. Maybe you didn't do that one. Oh, it turned into a profit. Don't worry about it. Do the good ones. Because when they show up and you get a strong move down and a candle changing color and a stochastic in the buy zone, That's when you trade it. That's when you trade it. That's a 1, 2, 3. You see that? And now what? Boom, profit opportunity, okay? That's what I'm talking about. And take a look. This one's not too shabby either. Third trade, right? We're not trading heavy. Third trade. That one took about 2 days, 134 pips. Add that to the 170 you already got. Now you're up 300 pips in a week, okay? This is one currency, okay? Trade it every time you see it, and look what happens. Look where the market goes. Amazing. It goes up to that red line. We went from red to red. Once the energy came into the market, the Fibonacci's sort of take over and tell us the story. Once we get up there, what happens? Market changes direction. Why? Because you completed the sequence, now you're on another one, okay? And now what you're going to do is wait for that next burst of energy to come into the market. When you see it off the day chart, okay, then you come to the 2-hour chart and you know you're onto something, okay? You come to that 2-hour chart, you'll know you're onto something. You get out your Fibonacci's. I'm going to tell you it works here, okay? And look at, okay, sequence after sequence after sequence. Buy every 1, 2, 3. You're going to be talking about making mad dough, all right? And for me to tell you this is one thing, all right? For me to show you this is another, right? This trade happened yesterday. How much is that one worth so far? 127 pips, and it's still going. Now, if you think that makes sense, if you think you can do it, right? If you're keeping up, type ABC 1, 2, 3. Type ABC 1, 2, 3. If you're seeing this, okay, and you're keeping up, type ABC 1, 2, 3, because now I got to tell you how to get it. No matter which currency you pick, you go to the monthly chart, you prove that it works, all right? I can keep showing you, or you can do it. There's A to B, pull back, U-turn, red to red. You can't tell me that's a mistake. This is a third currency. This is the Canadian, okay? Euro I showed you. Yen I showed you. This is the Canadian, okay? You can't tell me it's a mistake if every time you find a low price and a high price, and every time you see that the market pulls back down to an energy level, all right? You can't tell me this is a mistake if it's supposed to go from green to green and it goes there exactly. You can't tell me that's an error, green to green exactly, all right? Then I continue with more sequences and more sequences until finally you've proven to yourself that this indeed works, okay? A to B, red line, where are we supposed to go? Red to red, and we go right to it. I mean, come on, man. This is going to help you. This is the tool you're looking for. What's this worth if it works even half as good as I showed you? Well, on the Canadian, take a look. A to B, down to green, where are we supposed to go? Green to green, where do we go? Right to it, and then we change direction. What's this worth? Well, just on the Canadian, all right? If you take advantage of just this currency, let's just go find a low price there. There's my current sequence. I'm bouncing off the blue. I'm going up to blue. That's where it's at, okay? Blue to blue, 134 to 154, that's another 2,000 pips, okay? Do that as a one-lot trade, that's 20 grand. And you can do this over and over. You guys have got something here. I know, we've been doing this 22 years, okay? We know it works. We got 30,000 people worldwide that know it works. You got to find out that it does. Get it on your desk today. I'm telling you that it works. I can send you testimonials, all right? I can tell you I know exactly what I'm doing when I open up my charts, and those are meaningful, but the most meaningful thing is going to be for you to get this. So instead of watching other people make the money, it's simple, right? I know. It's not really simple. I just made it simple for you, okay? Instead of watching other people make the money, all right, I want you to make some too. And if you get this on your desk today, I'll let you try it out, okay? AutoFib tools will be included. We'll get you a username and a password. If you didn't follow every last thing that I said, don't worry about it, because built into the program, one click away, check this out, all right? There's a button right here that's going to ask you for that username and password that I give you today. When you click on that, check this out. One click away is going to be the tutorial, and it's everything I showed you today, but it comes with videos and a pause button, okay? What's the Forex? You did that. Support and resistance, that's the floors and ceilings. The ABCDs, the Fibonacci's, we did that too. Uptrends and downtrends, we did that too. How to manage a trade, all right? There's a little more to this than I'm able to show you in an hour, but this is going to be what vaults you, all right, to that next level, all right? And we'll get you trading currencies, all right, because this works. This is why you're going to do this. All right? Fact of the matter is that'll be built in. Normally it's $249 a month. But you want to get started today. If you have any interest in this at all, do me a favor. Do what it says on the bottom of the screen. All right? You get on this situation today. I'll give you 2 months of this for free to try it out, test it out, and make sure the darn thing works. Okay? I don't need to convince you. The only thing you have to do is convince yourself by trying it. Okay? If you want to do that, do what it says at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to keep going with more information. All right? But if you have any interest in this at all, let's just have a quick phone conversation when we break. All right? We'll talk for a couple minutes. We'll dot I's, cross T's. We'll get this on your desk so you can start using it. Okay? So do that. Yeah, good. Put your phone number in the chat box. Yes, we're going to have a conversation. It's either going to be with me or one of my traders. Okay? But let's do that. People are important, gang. Let's figure out what you want to accomplish, see if this is a good fit. All right? You're going to load it up today. You're going to open up an account today. I'm not going to let you off the hook. All right? I know you want to make some money at this, so let's do it. All right? You can use our resources. We're going to help you make pips 4 different ways. Here's one of them built in. Watch this. All right? I don't know if I can find all those what do you call it? Those Fibonacci's, those trades. I don't have time for this. Stop it. Built in, I got a scanner that'll help you with that. Watch. Okay? One click of the mouse. I'm going to add my username and password. Now look, this scanner will actually scan all the currencies, all the Fibonacci's, and it'll tell you which currencies are setting up, what your entry price is, where you put your stop, and where you start taking money off the table, right? I'm going to take 50% of my win when I reach this price. I'll take another 50% of my win when I reach this price. This will let your winners run. And the beauty of the scanner, it'll even tell you what your percentage, right, probability is of making money. It will also alert you if you're at the grocery store when one of these entry prices is hit so that 1, 2, 3 doesn't get away from you. All right, that's an awesome tool. We'll help you with that. All right, what else are we going to do? Today, 4 o'clock, write this down. You're serious? I'm going to test you. Give me an hour today. Okay, let's make sure we set up your charts. We'll help you set them up today so you can get started quickly. All right, you can come trade live with us today. Do exactly what we do. There's setups right now. I already showed you the Canadian. I already showed you the yen. All right, you want to see what's going on the pound pairs? This is not meant to confuse you or overstate it. All right, but when I show you the pound pairs on the day chart, have on each example all broken into the buy zone, you've got to understand how meaningful this is. Okay, we've gone from the sell zone into the buy zone. This is what's happening on the pound. We're bouncing off the red one here, higher lows, higher highs. We're going up to what? 173. Where are we? We're at 168. Gang, that's 500 pips. Okay, $10 a pip, that's $5 grand, one currency. Okay, go to the pound Australian, same thing. What's happening? There's AB. We bounced off the red. Where are we going? Red to red, 173. We're at 167. That's another 600 pips. Okay, now you're at 1,100 pips. All right, what about this one here, the pound yen? Oh, guess what? You missed it. All right, we haven't pulled back yet to a red line. This is a gorgeous move. All right, so you missed that one. Sorry about that. Don't miss the next one, because what do you got here? Same thing, pound dollar, A to B, pull back to red, red to red, 128. Where are you? 124. Oh, 125 today. So guess what? There's still 300 pips left. Don't leave them behind. All right, this is massive. Be there. Let's set you up for this. If you're serious about making money, don't miss this. Type a phone number in the chat box and let's go. Let's take a step forward. That's why you're here today. All right, I'll make sure you can start making money right away. And I'll also make sure that you have this in your back pocket in a sensible way. I'll set you up with a 2-day class. All right, no, it's not last week. It's going to be next week. All right, Thursday and Friday, so that you make sure that you get all of this stuff under your belt and know exactly what it is that you're doing when you come into our trading room. All right, it's phenomenal. All right, it works. You're ready. You know all your terms. You've got yourself a formula. You've seen a track record, and there's opportunity. The only thing left is you. And the fact is, if this works, okay, if this works and you came and traded with us and you got those pips on the yen and the pound, we're talking about what? Definitely a good way to spend some time. 200 in, $5 out would be worth your time, okay? At $10 a pip, 50 grand, all right, that's the deep end of the pool, but there it is. It's right in front of you. It's just a Fibonacci. You have to decide what you want to do, but by all means, you have to decide. I'll make it easy for you. All right, I'll give you 60 days. If I give you 60 days to put this to the test and I give you every one of my resources and I let you do it risk-free and I guarantee your results in writing, all I got to know at this point is, would you give yourself a shot at this? Type your answer in the chat box. If I gave you every single resource that I have, and I give you 60 days to put this to the test, risk-free, right? And I even guaranteed your results in writing. The bottom line is, would you give yourself a shot at this? Good. Danielle, thank you. Michael, Jim, Doug, thank you. Good. Dennis, Judy, good. Sophia, well then let's do it, because that's what this is. All right, the Ultimate Traders Package is all those things rolled in together. It's every resource that we've got, that we've built for 22 years around this formula. This is going to give you a chance for success. What you got to do, though, is step forward, right? Type your name in the chat box. Yes, I'm going to answer your questions. Let's do that. Okay, let's do this in a way that makes sense. But by all means, let's step forward. Okay, let's get you into the class. Let's get you to the point where you have this as a lifetime skill. Then you get to go trade it every day, and that's when the fun begins. All right, I'll give you 60 days. Try it out, test it out. Make sure it works before you have to make any kind of final decision. But when I say I'll guarantee your results in writing, I mean it. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. You come make that commitment to trade with us for 60 days, we'll make it worth your while one way or the other. We'll show you 2,000 pips in that time minimum, or we'll send you a check for $2,000. Okay, that's called putting your money where your mouth is. That's what we're going to do. All right, all you have to do is get started. Now, a couple of you said, well, how much is it? Okay, good question. The value of it is massive. All right, all those individual items, you add them up, the value of the program is huge. And some of you are thinking, you know what, if it does even half of what you said, yeah, that'd be worth every penny. Okay, but guess what? Today, right, it's not $15,000. It never is. As a matter of fact, when we bundle the package, here's what happens. All right, everybody saves time and money, and you can actually go to my website anytime you want. It's markettraders.com. Okay, anytime you like, you can go there. There's a little form, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, or Discover, and you can actually get the program. It's not $15,000. It's about half of that. Now, that's online, okay, and that's fine, and you can do that whenever you like. But today is what? Today is Extended Cyber Monday. You know what that means to you? You get to get this for an unbelievable, awesome discount, because what we're doing, right, it's the holiday season. Everybody likes a deal. We're taking 60% off of this program today, okay, which means you can get started with all the tools, right, all the training, all the support, and 60 days to try it out for a one-time investment of $3,198, all right? Everything comes with that. Now, there's actually two ways you can get started. Stick with me, because I need to know from you which way you're thinking of, okay? If you want to get started today, right, and you can fit this on your MasterCard or Visa, you're going to do what's called option A. You're going to make a one-time payment, right? You're going to take advantage of that awesome savings, right? And I'm going to give you a shot to try this for 60 days before you have to make a final decision on it, okay? What's option B? That's for those of you that need a little flexibility, all right? If you can put just a little something down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reserve a seat for you, and I'm going to get you all the tools, all right? You'll have all the privileges that go with this. The difference is we're just going to stretch it out a little bit over time to give you a little bit of flexibility, okay? Tell us what you can afford. Tell us what fits your budget, all right? We'll customize something for you so that you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable, I don't want you to do this, okay? I have to make sure that we're working well together. But either way you do this, all right, I'm going to give you this warranty in writing. It says, look, try it and test it for 60 days, all right? Learn it, learn the formula, come trade with us 2 or 3 times a day. Make sure that it works. Make sure it works for you. And after 60 days, that's when you make a final decision. Okay, and it's going to be real easy. If it works the way I said, you're going to keep it. You're a lifetime member, okay? If you say to yourself, well, you know what, Joe, it's just not my cup of tea. If you decide after 60 days, for whatever reason, this is not for you, it's okay. What it says in writing is we'll refund every penny you paid just for trying it out. All right, what am I trying to tell you with that? Your downside is 0, okay? Your upside is phenomenal. Your upside is you're going to get a full Forex education, and I'll tell you what, when it comes to your upside in writing, okay, here's what that says. You spend that 60 days, we're going to show you 2,000 pips. If we don't, not only will we refund your money, we'll also send you a check for $2,000, okay? That's called putting your money where your mouth is, and now you're ready to do it. You just got to take a step forward, okay? And if that's something you're interested in doing, look, let's have the conversation. And if you're thinking, well, Joe, I want to get started, I got a couple of questions, but you know what, I can probably put that on my Visa card. Well, then just type the option A in the chat box next to your phone number so that we know what we're talking about ahead of time. Okay? If you say, you know what, tell me about a financing plan because this looks like it works. I can do that. What can I do? Just put a little something down? That's correct. Okay? That'll get your foot in the door, all right? But it'll give you all the tools and the warranty, all right? You've got to decide, though, that that's something you want to step forward and do. Now, any of you that starts today, Cyber Monday situation, I'll give you a year of the charts. I don't want you worried about $249 a month. I want you worried about learning this, all right? I'll make an additional commitment to your success. I'll give you a year of the charts for free. You want to get started today, all right? And the fact is, I know what you're thinking, a lot of you. You're thinking, okay, am I going to do this? We all think about it, okay? If you don't do this, what are you going to do? That's a question you have to answer. If you don't do it now, right, when are you going to do it? I don't want you to miss out on I don't want you to leave that stuff behind, okay? The fact is, though, you're asking yourself this important question. What's the worst that can happen? Because it's your money. You're taking it seriously, okay? You don't want to be made a fool of. The fact of the matter is, if you do this, okay, and it's not your cup of tea, you get a refund, okay? Let's say I'm wrong. Let's say when you come trade with us, we don't make 2,000 pips. Let's say we only make 1,000, okay? You get to keep the 1,000 pips, and you can still get that refund. All right, your downside is zip, but I want you to think of the good things that can happen, all right, because if you learn this as a lifetime skill, if you found that thing you've been looking for the past 3, 5, 10 years, right, holy cow, that Fibonacci thing works, well, now you got to do something with it. You got to put it in your pocket, okay? Just tell me what you're thinking, option A or option B. Type your phone number in the chat box, okay, and that's my time. My time's up, all right? Now it's up to you, all right? I showed you something that works. Time and time and time and time and time again, okay? There's a reason for that. You got to see it. I showed you how to get an account open so you know that mechanically it's simple, and we made money today, all right? We made some money today live. You saw how quickly that can happen. I want you to make a couple of $100 today and tomorrow and the next day, all right? But some of you haven't put your name and number in the chat box. Why? Because you don't like the price, right? Looks like a pretty good deal, Joe, but. All right, stop with the buts. I'm going to help you with that. If the only thing that's bugging you is the price, if you can do this, right, if this made sense to you, and you're like, yeah, that made sense, right, I can open an account, I got it, but that price has got me bumming. Well, I'll tell you what if I can get this for you for a little less? I'll give you 2 minutes to respond to this because that's all the time that I have left. But if I can get this for you for less, will you do it? How much less? Okay. What if it was, let's see, what is it now, $31.98? What if it was, let's see, how about free? Would that finally get you off the fence? Because if it would, okay, then do me a favor. Type your phone number in the chat box and put the word free next to it because there's 2 ways you can get this for free from our group, all right? No, that's not nonsense, right? Oh, a minute ago it was $3,200. Listen, if you're serious about this, right, there's a way for you to get started, okay? I got a scholarship program. I got a tuition reimbursement program, okay? There's a couple ways to get this for free, but you at this point kind of have to step up to the plate. Type in the chat box your name and phone number and put the word free next to it, but don't waste my time, please, okay? Don't put your number in there if you're not serious, all right? This is for the people that say, I just need a chance, all right? I need a chance at something. I want to make serious money. I'm worth it, okay? I want to talk about making 10, 12, 15, 20, 50,000 a month for myself, okay? If that's you, type your name and phone number in the box. But don't waste our time, all right? I didn't waste yours today. I gave you solid stuff. I gave you some fun stuff. We had a great time. We differentiated. I showed you something that works. So you've got some strong takeaways. Imagine when you're working with us, right, for 2 full days, right? Imagine when you come trade with us and we do the formula over and over. Once you find a formula, gang, all right, you're done. You just got to keep doing it. This is where it's at. We've been doing this 22 years. Okay, now it's up to you, and I got another 15 seconds, but I got to bug out, all right? Got to move on to the next speaker, and you know what? Investor Inspiration, I really appreciate the fact that they give me an opportunity to talk to you as a group, okay? It's a high-profile outfit, and they don't invite any slouches, so it's a compliment, I think, and I'll take it, thank you, but everybody that you listen to today is gonna be able to help you. Nobody else is here by mistake. All right, so listen carefully. Take that step forward. Make this day super meaningful for you. All right, I hope our time was valuable, and I appreciate it. All the best to all of you. Take care.